Smoke meat.
No chemicals or preservatives, just 100% honest to goodness hickory smoked meat.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Boy, some chicken wings have really hit the spot.
You ain't got no better food like some chicken wings, some baby back ribs, some fries or something?
That's just two guys talking, am I right? We're just talking.
Hey, howdy, hey. Welcome to Fat Guys with Smokers.
Welcome to the pit.
Welcome to the frickin' pit. The #1 barbecue podcast. And we expanded last week. What did we go to?
In the Northwest United States.
In the Northwest United States.
I'm willing to go bigger. We can just call them the Western United States.
In the Western United States. Listen, unless anybody calls us on it, this is going to take over. And soon, we're going to be the #1 barbecue podcast in the world. Undisputed.
I only know of one other barbecue podcast that is consistent. There are other ones I know of that are like, oh, hey, we're going to do this. Or, hey, we should probably do this.
Yeah.
But it's the Barbecue Central show.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. I don't want to mess with him.
See, Malcolm Reed has one that they're pretty consistent with. I haven't listened for a while, but...
Is he?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I first looked them up when they were on hiatus.
Yeah. They always take a couple weeks off so he can go to Jamaica and go fishing.
Man, that'd be nice.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And Bearded Butcher, supposedly they're getting into it. They just built a new building.
Oh. And they're going to podcast?
They have a dedicated podcast studio.
I would be very interested in theirs, I think. Like, I guess it depends on what they talk about, but love watching their videos.
I know. I'm like fascinated about like where it comes from. And,
And how sharp those knives have to be on their
oh my
little
gosh, man.
10-minute or 10-second reels. They're like, let me just cut this cow in half. It's like, holy cow, man.
I know. I just watched one today where he pulled the outside skirt and inside skirt steak. And it was just like, it was like a hot knife through butter.
Seriously, it's like one swipe. It's not like, it's just,
I should have brought it down. I bought a new knife.
Oh, what kind?
It is a 12-inch. I don't know.
Where did you acquire this knife?
Amazon.
Nice.
The same place I get everything.
Okay.
And it's another, industrial style plastic handle. $25. Let's see. It is a. So this is a Butcher and Field Harvest knife.
Oh,
but
interesting.
I know there's another name for these.
Different than a boning knife, huh?
Yeah, I will post a link to it on the website. Okay. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
But yeah, it's one of these. It's like a big butcher knife, but it's kind of got the flared tip.
Yeah.
I see people use them all the time.
Looks like a machete.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I can't remember the name of it.
Have you used it?
I haven't. It is still in the plastic even. So I'm really excited to...
Yeah, that's awesome. Love me some new toys.
New knives are just always fun.
Yeah.
So I'll put this onto the page with all of the other things that we use. I'll just add it to that same post.
So check that out, fatguyswithsmokers.com.
Yeah, who's probably going to come after us.
Yeah, that's true. I was going for Expedia, but...
Oh, it was Expedia. That's what it was,
Expedia.
Huh? Oh, that's right. Yahoo!
Yes, that's what that one was.
That's what that one was.
Anyway, how was your 4th, John?
It was good, man. What did I do? I cooked ribs. Yeah, I cooked...
Anything different?
Nope, I used Smoke Junkie.
Okay.
Smoke did 3-2-1. I think the thing that I would do different if I were doing it again, I didn't put enough moisture in the packets when I wrapped them. I just put honey and butter, hit it with a little bit of honey hog.
What do you normally put, like apple juice, or what are we talking?
That's the problem. I'm inconsistent, so I just put something in there all the time. But I used squeezable parquet butter.
Yeah, dude. That's where it's at.
I've always used, real butter and slice it. First of all, I grew up on country crock. Like, I grew up on margarine.
Sure.
We never had butter in the house. Haley's family only had butter.
Really?
So that was one of the, we were just talking about newlyweds. That was one of our compromises, is like, okay, we'll have butter. Like, in my house, like, butter's what the rich people ate.
Right.
So, like, we had country crock. But Haley always had butter, so that's what we've always had in the house since we've been married. And so she's like looking at this parquet going like, what is this? But it's so convenient. You just
It is, man.
grab it, squeeze it, drizzle it on there.
And when I was doing competitions, people almost preferred that to the butter just because of the like shine that it gave ribs.
Well, I think it's, one of it's the shine, and two, like, it's warmer just in general. Like, it, you're not dropping a big chunk of something cold on.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I didn't put enough moisture in there. I've put everything from apple juice to Dr. Pepper in them.
Oh, I never thought about Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
dude, it's
That would be
money.
good.
Yeah, this is unproven, untested, just like in my head. Like, I think the carbonation helps tenderize the meat a little bit.
Interesting. Okay. I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, and then you just get all of the amazing 23 flavors that go into Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that sounds good. And the sugar would help. And so do you add brown sugar if you put Dr. Pepper in?
Yeah. So
You just do
that's what I put
everything the same, just
in
add
all
some
of them. I
Dr.
do
Butter /
butter,
margarine.
honey, brown sugar, and this time I didn't put any other liquid, and I should have.
But normally you do.
Yeah, and they were great. Like, they were closer to a competition rib where you bite in and you leave the bite mark and it pulls away well from the bone. I was closer to that. My family loves fall off the bone ribs.
That's how I am too. I know it's frowned upon in the competition circuit, but I'm not a competitive barbecue guy.
I was gonna say
what I like.
I'm a backyard barbecue guy, not a competition barbecue guy.
Fall off the bone is where it's at, in my opinion.
Yeah. So they were a little tougher than I would have liked, but they had great flavor, and there's nothing left of the 3 racks. So
Did you do them on the drum?
I didn't. I did them on the Traeger.
Right on. I haven't used my drum for a while, and I feel like I need to. Don't want her to get sad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think all I've ever done on my drum has been pork shoulders.
Really? Yeah, I try ribs on there. I think you'd be surprised.
Well, I'm sure they'd be great.
Yeah.
Have you ever hung anything in yours?
I have. One year for the Super Bowl, I was cooking like 6 racks of ribs, and I only had my drum smoker. So obviously I went to Kevin, my father-in-law, and he rigged me up like some rebar that I stick in some holes that I did, and then he made me some hooks out of some really thick gauge wire that he had.
Yeah.
And so I hung it there, and it worked surprisingly well. I had a feeling that the bottom would just be charred and the top wouldn't, but it didn't. It cooked pretty evenly.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
So that's one of the things I've wondered about, because I've got the pit barrel.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you not familiar, what we're talking about, Mike inspired me to build an ugly drum smoker. Google it. You take a 55-gallon drum and you build a barrel smoker out of it.
Cheap and delicious.
Yeah, for about $100, you can have a great cooker.
Yeah. Consistent, cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. Or for $200-$300, you can buy a commercial version of that that's powder coated. And it's pit barrel cookers. They're awesome.
Yeah. I have no
Fantastic.
hate for pit barrel cookers.
And I did ribs hanging once on there. Theirs is really designed to hang everything in.
Right.
And I felt like those ribs that were closer to the heat did get more charred up.
So I thought that would happen, and I didn't notice it.
Did you do spares or
Yes, I did
okay?
spares.
Maybe that's part of what it was, because I did back ribs, and especially if they were cut to St. Louis,
Yeah.
that's a much shorter rack than
I think
back ribs are.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
So I'll have to try it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know. It was good. I haven't ever hung anything else, but I'd be willing to try it.
Chicken halves
Oh,
are one of my favorite things to hang in the pit barrel.
interesting. Yeah, that
Pit
sounds
barrels
good.
with Alabama white sauce.
Oh, how long does a chicken half take to cook in a pit barrel?
It was like right at an hour and a half, I think.
So still pretty short time.
Yeah.
Relatively. Interesting. That would be worth trying.
Yeah, it was.
I love the Alabama white sauce.
Yeah, I did Alabama white sauce, chicken for a wedding I catered. Actually, it was awesome.
That you cooked in the pit barrel? Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet. How many halves could you hang in a pit barrel?
I think I hung 8, so 4 chickens is what I got in there.
In one barrel. Mm-hmm. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
If you are unfamiliar with an Alabama white sauce, it's like a mayo-based barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it's a mayo and vinegar.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, and I'm blanking on his name. I should look it up.
Oh, we've talked about it before. Uncle Jim or something. I can't remember. Yeah, dude, chicken halves are bomb. So then, do you dip those in there and let them glaze on, or do you just have it as a dipping sauce? Bob Gibson, that's what it was.
That is. Big Bob Gibson. Mm-hmm. And his recipe is on AmazingRibs.com for Bob Gibson's white sauce. And it's awesome.
So good. So different. But not in a gross way. Like, if you hate mayo, still give this a shot, because it's a really good sauce.
It is money.
It's got so many other things going on that it's just delicious.
Yeah. Sorry. And you asked me another question, and maybe you already forgot it, which will be fine.
Do you glaze it or do you dip it after?
Both.
Yeah. Do you pull a chicken half?
No. So when I did these, and really the way I still do it is, or still would do it, is take your chicken half, cook it, pull it off, dip it into white sauce, put it back out for a half hour, and then dip it again, and then I just whatever the traditional eight cut chicken butchering is, where you get a drumstick, you get a wing, you get a thigh, you get a breast. And most of the time I do my breasts even in half. Because a whole chicken breast on a fryer can be pretty big.
Yeah.
So 2
breasts are always better than 1, John.
So a couple of weeks ago,
go on.
We said that we were going to talk about desserts.
We did, and I think now's a good time to talk about desserts.
I know. I resurrected our shared Apple Note, by the way, for show ideas.
I saw that and was like, oh, I came out of the canyon and was like, what's John doing here?
Yeah.
We need to do that.
So we've got a couple of things coming up that are on here, but today we're going to talk about barbecue desserts.
Mm-hmm. As promised last time, a campfire dessert.
Yeah, for a while ago.
Yeah.
I missed a chat on the website from our friend George, who wants to know about smoked breakfast pastries, specifically apple smoked cinnamon rolls.
Oh, I'm excited to research that.
Yeah, we might be able to sneak a little bit of that in today. Mm-hmm. And then Matthias, our friend from Germany,
Auf Wiedersehen,
hit us up, and he brought up a good point. We've been doing this for a while. This, I think, is episode 78.
Dude.
Is that right?
78. It's around there, I know.
This is episode 79.
Oh, hey-oh. Almost 80.
We're almost to 80. But it's been a while since we've done a Who Are We, What's It Like Where We Live. So, thanks for the suggestion, Matthias. We're gonna do a whole episode just dedicated to that.
Another intro.
I know.
That'll be sweet.
Maybe we can get the girls on again.
Dude.
I think they did our last one where they it was
That's
a
true.
dating show almost, and asked us questions.
Oh, that would be good. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. That could be interesting. I'll
could
ask
be
Whitney.
interesting. We should really ask Haley because she's
That's true. She might be the tougher nut to crack.
Yeah. We'll have to see what mood she is when we go upstairs.
Maybe we just won't say anything and ask her to bring something down for us and have like a chair and we're mid podcast. Like, hey.
So, all right. Tangent, and then we're back to desserts.
Yeah.
Haley led the young women's youth group at church. The way she ended up getting pulled into that was I was down in bishopric meeting at one weekday night. The bishopric it's the bishop and his two counselors. I was one of his counselors at the time, are the ward leadership, or the congregation leadership. And we were sitting there talking about who can we have do this. And we'd been kicking names around. We finally were like, what about Haley? And everyone felt really good about it. Like we had all independently been thinking of her for this, but didn't want to throw her name out there because I was already neck deep in a lot of things and
a lot of time.
It's a huge time commitment. So anyways, we all decided that that's what we were going to do. So at like 10:30 at night, I text her. I was like, hey, can you run down to the church really quick? Which is right down the street from our house. It's not a long ways. It's not across town. And she's like, what do you mean? Like right now? I was like, yeah, right now it'll take 10 minutes. So she comes down, walks in, leaves the kids sleeping at home. And she's like, so what's going on? And I got up and walked out of the room, and she and the bishop had a conversation.
That's how it should be, John.
Just rip the Band-Aid off,
we
man.
We gotta just sneak her in here and just send it.
Yeah, and she's normally a couple of weeks behind on the show anyway, so if we get on this...
we play our cards right, we can make this happen.
We can make this happen.
That'd be sweet.
All right. Game plan, we've got one now.
Yep.
All right.
I'm glad we did that for all of you to hear.
To
keep us accountable.
On to Campfire desserts.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you got?
Listen, an oldie but a goodie. My wife would cross heaven and earth for a s'more. So I gotta say s'mores. They're easy. They are messy as heck. But I mean, all you need is a stick and a mallow, some chocolate, and graham crackers. Have you ever used the... oh, shoot, now I can't. I'm blanking on the name.
Keebler Fudge Stripe?
Keeblers, yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan of those. It's kind of everything all in one, and they just put them all in the middle.
Yeah, it's like a little more shortbready than graham cracker.
I like that. This weekend when we were up camping, our cousins, I guess, Whitney's cousins, I don't know what that is, I guess my cousins-in-law, they brought up some Ghirardelli caramel-filled chocolates that they used on their s'mores. And I didn't try one. Whitney said that the first bite was incredible, and then after that it was like, oh, this is a lot. Like, I need to take a nap. So maybe a little more. But if you've had those like s'mores caramel things they have at Costco,
oh yeah, we're talking
kind of
about
the same
those.
idea. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge just like plain chocolate fan, so I like Reese's on my s'mores.
Oh, I've never tried that, but I love Reese's.
And
I should get on board.
Yeah, and I saw something that I don't know if it's crazy or genius on Instagram where you use marshmallow fluff.
Okay.
And completely coat a Reese's. So you like stick a Reese's on your
stick.
roasting stick.
Okay.
Cover it in marshmallow fluff.
Oh.
And then toast it.
Interesting.
So you've got a marshmallow covered Reese's that you then toast up.
Toast the marshmallow.
Toast the marshmallow fluff.
You don't put it on a cracker?
No, and then you put it on the...
You do put it on a cracker.
Then you put it on a cracker.
Interesting.
I have no idea how marshmallow fluff would be in fire.
That's what I was just thinking. I picture it just catching on fire or dripping right off or whatever as it heats up. But worth a try.
Yeah, it is worth a try.
I do love Reese's.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So a little different. We'll work our way. We'll try and stay related but different. I think another one that a lot of people have done are banana boats. Have you done these before?
No, but you were talking about it last time.
So take a banana, open it. So just like pull one of the sides open. So the peel is still there.
Peel is still there. Okay.
Yep, and that's important. The peel is still there, and then I've seen it done a couple of different ways. I just like to cut the banana almost in half. Just like split the banana.
Long ways.
Long
hot dog
ways.
style.
Hot dog.
Okay.
You're going to open it. You're going to make a hot dog cut in the banana, and then fill it.
But not in the banana peel.
Not in the banana. Yeah, you're not cutting all the way through the banana peel because at the end we're going to close it back up.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And you put mini marshmallows, chocolate chips, whatever candy type things you want in there.
Inside our banana.
Inside the split banana.
Okay.
Close the banana peel and wrap the whole thing in foil. And then you set that down in the embers for, I don't know, 5-ish minutes.
Just the peel.
No, it's wrapped in foil.
Wrapped in foil. You said that.
Yep.
That's right.
Wrapped in foil. Turn it a couple of times, make sure it gets even heat. And then you open it up, and you've got this like little foil container now to hold your stuff. But you open that banana peel back up, and you've got gooey chocolate, banana, marshmallow, just everything.
How do you eat this?
With a fork.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or if you're 5 years old, you stick your fingers in it and
Obviously.
turn it into a giant sticky mess.
Oh, dude.
So
that's how my kids are with s'mores. It's like, did you eat any or just rub it on your face, man?
Yeah. So, I like banana boats. The one that I haven't done in a really long time are baked apples in the fire.
Yeah, you were talking about this last week. Tell us about baked apples.
We started talking about this when we said we were going to do this. But one, you need to start with a firm apple.
We're talking pie apples, like Granny Smith.
Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, Cosmic. I found a new one today at Costco. A Juicy, Juici.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah, right?
Nice.
It was quite juicy as well. But you cut the top of the apple off, so where the little stem part is.
Where the stem hangs out, okay.
Cut that out, and then you just kind of make a bowl in your apple.
Okay.
Eat it, throw it in a cobbler, do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Which we should go to cobblers after this.
Yeah, obviously.
And then now that you've got this apple bowl, you fill it with whatever you want. Brown sugar, raisins, nuts are all popular. We used to put, I don't know why, we always had Red Hots when we did this.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know why. Just what we did. So you probably put marshmallows in it, I guess. I mean, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. You put in there, you put the lid back on, again, wrap it in foil, and put it in the fire. Apples take a little longer. It's like 10 to 15 minutes in a hot pit, rotating it, making sure it's that's even. But then you open it up, and it's like apple pie filling. Like, it's just gooey. The apple's falling apart, and you get your spoon and go to town.
I'm picturing like those, those caramel apples, but like the deluxe or whatever they are. Picturing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Inside of a baked apple. That would be
we
really
did
good.
caramels too. We used to take the little square caramels and unwrap them and put them in there.
Good. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So those are like true in the campfire.
Yeah. And we got to talk about woofums.
Woofums. Oh, man.
Dude. Woofums. I was introduced to woofums a couple years ago at a scout camp that I had to go to. And it made the whole thing worth it.
Yeah. So I was introduced to woofums when I was 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah. In California.
Okay.
And then I don't know, it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, a couple of kids here in Utah, like, started marketing them as woofums, like making woofum sticks and selling them at like Home Depot. And like, they're like, we created this new dessert. I was like, that's not new.
That's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah.
So you can make your own. We've talked about this before.
Do you want to describe it?
Sure. You get what we did when we were out there. We did have somebody there had those commercial woofum sticks. But there were like 12 boys and not enough. So we just got sticks and carved them. But you could get like an 1.25 inch dowel and just cut several pieces, put it on the end of a hot dog roasting stick. Be fine.
Yeah, closet rod.
Yeah, that would be perfect. But then you take, we used biscuit dough, make it nice and flat, and you kind of butter up the end of your stick, so you can just spray it with Pam if you have it, or rub it with butter or whatever. And then you wrap your biscuit dough around the end of the stick. So picture like, I don't know, kind of like a pigs in a blanket with no pig in it yet. And then you'd roast that carefully. Some of the kids really struggled with just baking that, because you don't want to pull it off and have it doughy in the middle, but you don't want it to be black. So it takes some time. You got to have some good coals to kind of rotate it around. But then you pull that off. You slide your dough, your delicious pocket, and then we filled it with chocolate pudding and whipped cream. So
interesting.
It was really good. We tried it at my house, and Damon had the idea, let's try using like Pillsbury cinnamon rolls instead of biscuit dough, and it was a hot mess. But I think with a little bit more planning, it might have worked. But the cinnamon rolls just got so much bigger that it kind of made a mess.
Was it like the rolled up cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, the ones in the rolls. Yeah. So we popped them and then wrapped it around. It just, I think. And a lot of it was we had our cousins over for a sleepover. We were trying to cook for, 10 kids, and we had 2 sticks. And so it just wasn't a big hit. And it was freezing outside. It was like 30 degrees. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so this was like an annual activity in our scout troop.
Did you call them woofums?
Oh, yeah, we called them woofum
so
sticks.
the name, that's what it was.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And we started it every year. It was like one of the first activities of the like camping season, and we made woofum sticks for all the new kids.
Oh, cool!
So we take a closet rod, cut them like into 3-4 inch sections, drill an 1/8 of an inch hole in there, and then hammer in a 3/16 metal dowel.
Okay.
And that became your hot dog roasting stick that you would hold the wood end and roast your hot dogs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you'd flip it around.
And hold the metal end to do your woofum.
To do your woofums. Okay. And everybody had a woofum stick that they brought with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was our tradition. But we used pie filling.
Oh, okay.
Like the canned pie filling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd cook it up, and then you'd put apple pie or blueberries or whatever it is, and then hit it with
You ate a lot more fruit than me. Everything that I do is marshmallow or pudding based, and you're like, we had some fruit. So California.
Look, I had 2 of the greatest scout leaders in the entire world, Paul Norris and Irv Yokoyama, who we've talked about. Irv.
Yep.
Go back, episode 2, right?
Yep, episode 2.
Episode
Irv
2.
Pig.
Was named in Irv's honor, but they were both passionate about the fact that if you're camping, you should eat like a king.
Yeah.
And that's where my outdoor cooking passion started. Mm-hmm. Was cooking in Dutch ovens, and I think you said like the first thing you really owned the whole cooking process for when you were cooking outside was a peach cobbler.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Because it was easy. My buddy showed me a recipe that took very little, and so I started doing it in like high school, and it just,
it's an awesome. You just did the dumped cobbler.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they used to sell Del Monte fruit jars that we'd get 2 of those, dump them into a Dutch oven, save the juice from one of the jars. Dump the cake mix on top of the fruit.
Just like, did you mix it up or did you just dump it dry? That's what I did. Just
dumped it dry. Sliced a stick of butter, margarine, whatever. Mm-hmm. Place that evenly throughout. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you would drizzle the peach juice over it if you were feeling fancy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you put it over the coals.
Yeah.
Coals on top, coals on bottom, and
So easy and so
45 minutes later, you have the best peach cobbler
Oof.
you will ever have in your life.
good. What did you use for your cake mix?
Just a yellow cake mix.
Yeah. One time I got funfetti just to try it.
Oh.
It wasn't good. I was super disappointed because I love funfetti cake.
Yeah, I
but
do
It was
too.
just too much.
Yeah, I was always a yellow cake mix
Yeah.
guy.
That's the best, I think.
But I've had chocolate cake mixes before.
Oh, interesting. With peach?
I haven't ever had it with peach. I don't see why that would be bad. Peaches and chocolate go together.
I don't think I could do that.
No, Adam Carter did a cherry cobbler with chocolate.
With chocolate. Interesting. See, cherry and chocolate I could get behind. Cherry and peaches for some reason doesn't seem
Yeah. Yeah, his secret ingredient is Mountain Dew.
Oh.
He uses that.
Pour that on after?
He mixes his cake mix with a little bit of Mountain Dew and then puts it on.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always
I'm on
really
board.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
And you can, play around with the flavors. You can do a fruit cocktail. You can do...
Blueberry. I love blueberry.
Blueberry is so
Blueberry's
good.
great.
Yeah, Haley doesn't like blueberries. I know.
John,
Everyone has to have a flaw.
come on, Haley. You're better than this.
Yeah.
Wonder if you
But-
could do some kind of like a razzleberry type of
Yeah.
deal. Like some raspberry, some
Yeah,
blueberry, some blackberry.
the 3-berry blend.
Yeah.
We've done that before.
Oh, yeah, just buy like the frozen
The
bag.
frozen.
Oh, yeah, that would work. You wouldn't have the juice from a candy. You think
Yeah,
that would
but
matter?
it's frozen, so it melts.
Oh, and has the... Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm willing to try that. That sounds good.
It's really good. Yeah, those raspberries are kind of tart and
Yeah.
mixed with the sweet. And
That would be good.
so, but I think my favorite thing to do in a Dutch oven, while we're still talking desserts, is a pineapple upside down cake.
Yeah. You did one of these when we were at girls' camp.
Did I?
I think so.
I
Didn't
can't
you?
remember. I could have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
This last one we did?
Yeah.
That would make sense with the
Yeah,
pineapple.
with the
and
pineapple stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
A
I
little
did.
extra
I did
pineapple.
3 or 4 of them, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan. Matt Pittman actually just posted a video in the last week with his pineapple upside down cake recipe. His has got bourbon in it, which sounds
Dude,
fantastic.
that would have made girls' camp so much better.
I mean, it bakes out mostly, probably.
Yeah.
But his pineapple upside down cake, you put down your pineapple, you cover it in brown sugar, so you get this like caramely, just gooey sauce, and then when you flip it and let it sit for a few minutes, it all just soaks through. The cake is so moist.
Do you do butter on the bottom?
Yeah.
Or just pineapple and brown sugar?
No, like you've got to. I've actually done it where, like, I use a foil liner in the
Okay.
bottom of it because it's a mess, man.
Yeah.
It can be bad,
like
and
a
if you get it over a hot spot or something, the sugar will burn. Like,
Just caramel.
you've got to be on your game for it, and you've got to grease the crap out of your Dutch oven. So, but that
And then
one's
you
great.
mix the cake on that one, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
I think you. I watched you make it, and I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I like pineapple. I don't know that I love pineapple upside down cake, but that's personal preference. Again, everyone has to have a flaw.
I think you just need to try more of it.
That's probably true. Listen, I love cobbler, but it is so much better a la mode. With a little ice cream, dude. Nothing beats a warm cobbler.
Sorry, I
with
thought
ice
that
cream
just
melting
went
all
without
over.
saying.
I think it does.
I
but
should
it's important
apologize
that
to
we point it
everyone.
out.
You have cobbler the first night so that the ice cream hasn't melted yet.
Yeah.
You have to have ice cream on cobbler, otherwise
so
it's
good, dude.
otherwise it's just a bad idea.
Do you think, and I probably should organize my thoughts before I just spit them out here. Do you think you could do some kind of a peanut butter cobbler?
Ooh.
I love Reese's. I love like peanut butter bars. Could you do some
peanut
kind of a... I
butter
guess cobbler
cobbler.
in itself would include fruit, so maybe this is a different discussion.
Yeah, but could you do like a peanut butter cake type of a thing?
Right.
I'm sure you
In
could.
a Dutch oven.
Yeah, I mean, a Dutch oven's, it's just a different oven.
Right.
Like you can bake bread in a Dutch oven.
Oh, okay. I got some ideas now.
As a matter of fact, I had to buy Haley her own cute Dutch oven for her sourdough.
Oh, really? Is it like colored?
It is. It's
I've seen those.
Yeah, it is the only pan that is welcome to live on the stove because it's cute.
Because it's cute.
My Dutch oven
Same thing
which
with me.
is black is relegated to the cupboard.
Well, I have a cast iron pan that goes on top of the cupboards. And if I leave it on the stove, it's a big problem. So, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I have some ideas for that. I might have to try some
play around
crap.
with it.
Yeah.
So we've hit campfires. I do want to swing
Swing
and a miss.
Swing.
Swing to the smokers though, to Traeger's.
Okay.
Because I think one of the best things you can do for a dessert is a Murray Callender's frozen pie.
Yeah, you have talked about this. Regale us with these tales.
Yeah, and this is why you go on business trips. I was at an event in Florida last year, and he was a competitor at the time when I was at Conservice. But his name's Clay, and we got to talking about smoking. Part of the event was a fishing tournament. I had my Hayden barbecue hat on. He's like, "So, tell me about this Hayden barbecue business." And I was like, "All right, man, let's talk." So, we were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, I love it." And you take a frozen Murray Callender's pie. And what reminded me, you were talking about blueberry.
Yeah.
They've got a blueberry pie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Pull it out frozen, preheat your grill to, 425, whatever it is on the box, and you throw it out there. It doesn't take quite as long as the box says it does to get there. But man, it is a delicious pie. They've got an apple crumb pie. Third best apple pie I've ever had in my life.
Really? Dude. I still am yet to try this. I need to, because I enjoy a good pie. I might be the only one in my family that enjoys well, my wife likes some different pies, but I would like to try this.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Murray County. I was like waiting, try what?
No, I'm talking about what you were talking about. One thing though, we've talked about this. If you're gonna bake in your or in your Traeger or pellet grill, you got to clean it.
Gots to clean it
because it's guns to taste like creosote if you don't. Basically.
Yeah. Well, not just creosote, but if you've been cooking ribs or a brisket or something, you've got all of that grease that's down on your drip pan. That's happy at 225 degrees.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
But it hasn't all run off, and now you're going to go from 225 to 400 degrees, and
it's going to start on fire.
It could start on fire, but at the very least, that grease is going to burn.
And it's just going to be black, nasty.
Yeah, it's grody stuff. So yeah, I always vacuum, change the foil on my drip pan, and then I let it, once it's at temperature, I let it go for 10 or 15 minutes, just anything that's still stuck to that grate to get it off and let it burn off. Although,
that's a good idea.
Let me hold my cup up here for those of you on Instagram. If you haven't taken the chance, Home Depot has continued to have great deals on the Barbecue Daddy.
Grill Daddy.
Grill Daddy, that's
Grill
what
Daddy.
it is.
Yeah.
The Grill Daddy. Man, I took mine over. We did a little neighborhood BYOM and cooked hot dogs and stuff. And Mel had his grill, and it was just like hammered from everyone cooking on it. And I was like, check this out. Got the Grill Daddy out and like cleaned it. There were like 5 of us standing around. Everyone's like, I'm going to Home Depot. I'm going to get one of those.
Dude, it's awesome. Like really, really like it. And I used it to clean my Blackstone the other day. Fantastic. So good.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big fan.
So, another shout out to our friends at Scrub Daddy.
Thanks, Scrub Daddy.
So, but yeah, I think that's a great one. The only other, I said third best pie. The number one best apple pie, and I will fight anyone on this, is at Sam's Club. Just their
apple pie is so good.
Like I swear it's got some caramel or something in it.
Oh
like
my
it is
gosh, it's good.
It is the best freaking apple pie out there.
And it is so big. Like,
It is.
It is huge. Oh,
And
that
they're like
makes me wanna go buy
$10.
one. Yeah, they're pretty cheap considering how much they'll feed
Yeah.
me.
And then the other one that was delicious, but it was so much work, was I made a homemade apple pie out on the Traeger. It was a caramel apple pie that I cold smoked the cream.
Oh wow!
Made the caramel with the smoked cream. It was fantastic. Granny Smith apples, lots of cinnamon, everything done on the Traeger. It was so much work. I doubt I will ever do it again.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It sounds like it was yummy, but I can't do that.
I had to get the
dedication, man.
old apple peeler out and
Oh yeah.
hand crank it. It was, and it was a mess.
I love
Haley called
apple
me
pie.
Hurricane Hayden for 3 weeks afterwards, but she
like
was
it.
constantly finding flour and stuff spread throughout.
I love apple pie, but again, I think apple pie always has to have ice cream. I don't think I can eat straight up apple pie.
Oh, I could eat Sam's Club straight up apple pie.
I have eaten Sam's Club straight up apple pie, but
For
I do
breakfast,
enjoy a
man.
little- Oh yeah, dude. Thanksgiving they give us those big pies. Like, thanks for being a teacher. It's my favorite thing.
I've never worked anywhere that has given me a pie for Thanksgiving.
John, join education, because instead of a raise, you get a pie, and it is totally worth it.
I have had a couple of raises, so I will take the raise and buy my own Sam's Club apple pie.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
Well, anything else? I think we've covered a lot. If you guys have ideas, comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. What you guys like to do, either over the campfire, in the Dutch oven, some desserts.
and we will do our very best not to miss and not to forget your comments, because now we've got our Apple Note.
Yeah,
To put
indeed
stuff on.
we do. So hit us up on the YouTube comments. Hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you do. Yeah, what kind of stuff do you cook in the stuff?
I said we weren't going to forget anyone. George
George.
and his cinnamon rolls. So
That's right. You did talk about George.
Yeah,
we didn't talk
we'll
about
do
cinnamon
more
rolls.
on breakfast pastries in another episode, but 100%, yes, you can do cinnamon rolls on there. Smoked cream cheese frosting. I smoked the cream cheese before we made the frosting.
Okay.
Money.
Made a difference, huh?
And in my cinnamon rolls, I drizzled maple syrup and bacon that I had cooked out on the smoker.
Interesting.
And then
You drizzled bacon or like bacon grease?
no. So you make your dough, you roll it out.
Okay.
You put your
Maple
cinnamon,
syrup,
you put your cinnamon
sprinkle
sugar and stuff
bacon.
in there. I hit it with maple syrup and broken up bacon chunks.
See, I don't.
Rolled it
The
up.
sweet and savory. I don't know if I can. do
Dude,
it.
it's money, I'm telling
Bacon,
you.
like they used to have a bacon donut at Macy's, and I was like, "That's the most disgusting thing I've ever
Look,
seen."
I'm not talking
They
about
sold out.
I'm not talking about going back to the day of the bacon milkshake at Burger King. That was wrong.
That sounds terrible.
Do you not remember that?
Oh, dude, that sounds like something I run away from.
Let's just say they had that at the same time. There was a lot of press coming around about McDonald's chicken nuggets, and they were like showing the extruded
The
chicken
press
product.
thing, yeah.
It was. They looked way
It
too
was a rough
similar
day
to get
for
behind.
fast food.
Yeah. But no, so cinnamon rolls in with the cinnamon and brown sugar, maple syrup and bacon, rolled them up, cooked them, and then put smoked cream cheese in the cream cheese frosting and topped them with sprinkled bacon. Cash money.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know if I can do it.
Like,
Listen.
Have I ever steered you wrong?
No, not necessarily, but I don't know.
There's a first time for
Yeah,
everything.
that's true. I'm not going to count you out on this one.
Man, the pain and anguish I feel.
Well,
But we've reached that time. Mike's done with my shenanigans.
I am. I'm sick of this crap. You haven't laughed at any of my underhanded jokes.
I've laughed at all of your underhanded jokes. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Mike.
And we're Fat Guys with Smokers. Thanks for listening to the Fat Guys with Smokers podcast. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Be sure to subscribe so you don't forget to tune in for even more nonsense from a couple of Fat Guys with Smokers.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.